Thanks so much. Well, good Thursday morning to you as you're waking up, heading out the door. We're accident free. Starting off the morning in Orem, this is I-15 northbound near University Parkway, near that off ramp there. Not seeing any major impacts. Let's give you a look at Little Cottonwood Canyon. Some snow on the ground, but thankfully not impacting your commute, and we haven't seen any major issues to report. Taking a quick look at the map, if you're traveling from Spanish Fork up to Salt Lake City, it's a 41-minute ride. Not seeing any major issues, just some minor congestion on the westbound of I-215 as you travel northbound to that I-15 interchange. Lori?
All right.
Things not heating up on your roadways this morning. Good morning to our Tooele commuters. If you're traveling along I-80 near Milepost 100 near the edge of the Great Salt Lake, you're relatively quiet, about a 35-minute ride over to I-15. We did see some earlier congestion, but that has dissipated. So relatively quiet across the I-15 corridor in both directions. No major delays across our 215 interchanges, but as you travel northbound along I-15, if you're traveling from Bountiful and continuing your approach northbound into the Ogden area, you will see just a little bit of congestion on the approach, but haven't seen reports of any accidents. Let's get to it. Wide perspective of the map here. Still seeing lots of green, but if you're traveling I-84 eastbound, specifically right before that Adams Avenue exit, we do have a crash reported there. Seeing some yellow on the map. Let's take a look at our camera. The closest camera we have is near Riverdale Road here. Of course, can't see anything along this stretch, but if this is a part of your normal commute, just give yourself a little bit of extra time. What usually takes you about, I would say, 13 minutes to get between South Weber and Mountain Green will now take you about 16 minutes. So not a major impact, but definitely just a little bit of stop and go on the approach. Here's a look at our camera. I-15 northbound on your approach to 37 South. Things looking good as you make your way northbound on the approach to the Spaghetti Bowl.
Deja, thanks
So much. Well, let's start with a wide perspective of the map. I-15 looking great in both directions from Provo all the way up to about Ogden this morning. But where we're seeing one problem spot continues to be I-84 eastbound as you approach the Adams Avenue exit. That crash is off to the shoulder, just seeing some minor congestion on the approach, but not substantially impacting your commute. Taking a look through Draper this morning, this is near 126 South with the southbound direction coming towards us. And let's give you a look through Tooele this morning. If you're traveling I-80 eastbound near Milepost 100 near the edge of the Great Salt Lake, looking great for you. Not seeing any major issues. Just watch out for some stacking on your approach to the 201, Tamara. Well, keeping an eye on your morning drive. We're in the clear this morning, relatively quiet. Let's start with the camera here in Woods Cross. This is I-15 traveling in the southbound direction on the approach to 26 South. Speeds coming in just under 75 miles per hour. If you're traveling I-15 northbound, specifically traveling near Point of the Mountain, you are also looking pretty good this morning. Taking a look at some congestion that's building in the southbound direction. Northbound, you're not really seeing any major impacts. Let's get you a quick look at some of your live drive times. Lots of green indicating we are in the clear. If you're about to turn the TV off and hop in the car, make sure you tune into our friends over at KSL News Radio for the very latest updates. As you're waking up, heading out the door, the good news is we are accident free, not seeing any major issues along the I-15 corridor. But if you're traveling specifically near the Park City area, we are seeing a broken down city bus. Specifically, it's near SR 224 near Ute Boulevard. Now, it's not causing you any major impacts. We do have some UDOT cameras in the area, so I'll pull them up in just a bit to get you a better perspective. So when we last spoke, we talked about a broken down bus that was near the intersection of Ute Boulevard and SR 224. Now, UDOT has shifted our perspective on this camera here. It looks like we're having a few issues, but I can tell you it's not impacting your commute substantially. Still seeing cars going through this intersection. We'll get you the very latest in just a bit, but thankfully it's not impacting your commute substantially. We'll have a full check of your roadways in just a bit.
All right, Deja.
Waking up, heading out the door, I do have some great news for you. We're now completely accident and breakdown free. That earlier broken down bus near the intersection of Ute Boulevard and SR 224 in Park City has cleared. Northbound along I-15, still relatively quiet. As you travel from Provo to Point of the Mountain, you're in the clear. Just a minor stacking northbound as you travel through South Salt Lake on your approach to the Spaghetti Bowl. Westbound along I-80, just seeing some patchy congestion just after you pass Milepost 100. Start with the live look outside. This is I-80 eastbound near the mouth of Parley's Canyon. Still seeing relatively quiet conditions and no major impacts on your roadways. Starting to see some more congestion through Midville, though. This is I-15 northbound just after you pass 78 South. Speeds coming in just under 76 miles per hour. Just be mindful of your speed just a little bit as you're heading out. But the good news is not seeing any major impacts on our roadways. Coming up in just a bit, we'll take a look at your I-215 interchanges and a look at our UDOT cam near the airport. So much. Well, I told you we were going to check in on our I-215 interchanges. Let's start on the eastbound of I-215. If you're traveling in Mill Creek near the 36 South exit, we are seeing just a little bit of congestion, but no major issues. Just a little bit of stop and go on the approach, but haven't seen any major congestion on the westbound. If you're traveling through West Valley City, this is on your approach to 23rd South. We're seeing the bulk of our congestion along this stretch and on the 201 this morning. So other than that, looking good. So take it easy as you're heading out the door.
Thank you.
viral. Right, Matt, thanks so much. Well, the good news is we're accident-free, no major issues along our main thoroughfares. I have to give a big shout out to our KSL viewers who see us out around town. I met one yesterday at the grocery store, Miss Sammy Jo. She said, Deja, don't forget about me. I live in West Jordan near the intersection of 78 South and Bangerter. Tell me about my commute. Don't forget about me. Well, Miss Sammy Jo, I have you covered. We are seeing some congestion on the southbound side as you approach the intersection, but smooth sailing for you there. And no major issues for you if you're traveling through Layton I-15 northbound near 1500 North. So looking good out there as you're heading out this morning. The tunes, maybe listen to some ABBA, some Dancing Queen. You're looking good out there, and you have the chance because we are accident-free. Northbound along I-15, only seeing just a little bit of congestion on the approach to the east bell of 215 interchange, and then I-80 eastbound, seeing just a little bit of congestion on your approach to Milepost 100. Other than that, looking good. 32 minutes from Ogden, 23 minutes coming from Kimball Junction into Salt Lake City, and no major issues along our surface streets. So crank up the tunes this morning. You have some time, Matt.